So he's a familiar face to us here in Jamaica. And if you love films, if you love cable, if you love anything that moves on the screen, then you love my guest, Jimmy Jean-Louis. Good morning.
Good
Welcome
morning.
to Smile Jamaica. It's morning time. Jimmy, we spoke about Cargo on Monday with the writer-director. You're here because you're a part of the film. I want to start there. Premiered last night. How are you feeling about it?
I was happy to be here, to premiere the movie in Jamaica, knowing that we shot in the Bahamas, and within the movie we have people from Haiti, myself and Jessica from the Bahamas, and of course we have Sky from Jamaica. And it's such a great thing to be able to collaborate with your own people from the Caribbean and be able to show that that project not just here, but it's going to be seen throughout the Caribbean.
Yeah, it is a very powerful project. I want to talk about Jimmy's journey to Hollywood, though. Started off in Haiti. What was that like as a youngster growing up in Haiti?
It was great, it was great. Personally, grew up with very little, as I say, without electricity or running water. But at the same time, it didn't take away the joy of starting in life, It was very much about the people's connections and the people's understanding. And then after that, of course, I went to Paris, where I went to school, and then ended up living in a bunch of other countries, including Spain, Italy, South Africa, England, and now in Los Angeles,
Los
America.
Angeles.
Yeah.
Did you ever think that one day you would become an actor?
No, it's impossible to think that, As I said, I had no inspiration as a kid. If anything, maybe a football player or a soccer player.
Oh, really?
Because that's the only thing we could afford. We could
Yeah.
all afford a ball. If you couldn't afford a ball, you just create it yourself, take everything, put it in a plastic bag, and then or put it in a sock,
it
and
up.
that was, at
Yeah.
least you could become good at that. But no, becoming an actor was, something that it was impossible for me to imagine.
When it did happen, you were in a club dancing, and they spotted you. That's what I hear.
Yeah,
For a Coca-Cola ad.
It was, thank you very much. It was sort of the beginning of it. I ended up doing a commercial for Coca-Cola. That was way back in Paris.
Yeah.
And when I realized how much money you could make out of one commercial, I was like, maybe I should try to press on that button and see if more would come.
Yeah.
Of course, nothing came after that because it's very difficult. But back then I used to dance as well, so I started to dance, and my career started in musical theaters actually. Yeah.
All right. What's it like in Hollywood? For a time, and even now, sometimes I hear Jamaican actors say, because we're Jamaican, we get typecast a lot. They always want me to play the Jamaican in the show. Is that something that you're even bothered by? That they say, oh, we want a Haitian, let's call Jimmy Jean.
No, I'm not bothered by it because in Hollywood I've played the Haitian, I've played the Nigerian, I've played the Cameroonian, I've played the Jamaican, I've played the black guy living in Europe. I've played all kind of characters.
Diversity counts.
So yeah, so not only I played within the accent, but I also played by speaking the language, meaning by that speaking French, Spanish, Italian, or Creole. So there is space for everybody, really. And I always knew that, there was space for me, even though I knew that I had to force it upon people, because when people don't know you, they don't know how to behave with you. So I had to be patient. But eventually, they sort of started to understand who I was and allowed me to be who I am and sort of bring something new on the table. Because the reality is you're bringing something new. You bring a new way of doing things, a new approach, and if they're open enough, then they'll benefit from it. So I just stuck to that, and 20 years later, I'm still working.
How
in Hollywood.
important is that to invest in yourself as an actor? I'm seeing here you're fluent in 5 languages. And that has nothing, people would think, oh, maybe that has nothing to do with acting in itself, but your fluency in the languages makes you more marketable as an actor. How important is that as an actor you acquire other skills and competencies?
Yeah, I mean, the fact that I've lived in all those places, help. But at the same time, I've been I've been able to use them because when I got onto Heroes, which was a phenomenon back in
Yes.
2006, I realized that the entire world knew about Heroes.
Yes.
So what I did is, I started to connect with all of those countries where I speak the language. So I started to do movies back in France, movies in the Caribbean, in Haiti, and then in Africa as well. So that's when the language became quite
Yeah.
important. I did movies in Mexico, in Spain, in Italy, and then you realize like, wow, it's quite interesting.
Yeah.
Some of those movies will never be seen in Hollywood, but at the same time, they give me quite a great joy and great experience of life as well.
Well, one of the movies is Cargo.
Yeah.
And I find that there is a thing about Caribbean actors, regardless of how great they're doing globally, in their heart, they all want to come back and do something in the Caribbean and connect with something in the
Yeah.
Caribbean. What drove the decision to do Cargo?
If it was up to me, I'd only work in Haiti or I'd only work in the Caribbean. If it was up to me. At the end of the day, I know who I am and I know what I like and I know where I feel comfy. I feel comfy when I'm home. I feel comfy when I'm in the Caribbean. So to be able to go back home and do a project that would eventually be seen, not just by the Caribbean, but by the entire world, of course that brought great joy. But I should point out that, it's something that we have to do a little bit more, try to connect with each other. Just so all those islands, whether it's, in this case, Jamaica, Bahamas, Haiti, maybe even Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, all those places really connect and start to work with each other. Because if we start helping each other, then we have a better chance by creating that industry that, at the end of the day, bring back quite a bit, because the economy in movies is pretty big. And that's what drives California right now. The film industry is a huge industry. So if we could have an industry within the Caribbean, I think it would be a good way to sort of expose our own culture, our own stories, and will depend less from things coming from outside. What hurts me the most is when I see my people always being fed by content that is only from outside, because unfortunately what that content does is educating your people, and by that content educating your people, that means your people sort of losing a little sense of who they have.
Absolutely.
So I think that identity factor is extremely important, and we can keep that identity within making movies, within sharing it amongst ourselves, but also to the rest of the world. And that's why, when I speak about that, I always take music as a reference. If let's say Jamaica can sell reggae to the entire world, I think the Caribbean or Jamaica can also sell the culture via movies. So it's doable, but we just have to believe in each other and accept each other, because the challenge here is to accept each other, not just accept the other ones that the European one or the American,
just
but
the
accept
Western,
each other.
but
Yes,
right here.
indeed.
Thank you. That's a great way to wrap up, Jimmy. And thank you for waking up, because I know last time was a big night. But he's you can follow him on Twitter at Haitian Hero. And I think one of the most powerful things he also said last night was just the images that we put out of ourselves. Haiti is such a vibrant, dynamic nation. First Black Republic in the world.
Yeah.
And those are some of the things we need to start telling people about each other. Thank
Yes,
you so much for being
thank you
here.
very much.
From Haiti to Hollywood, actor Jimmy Jean-Louis. Now, stay with us. Thanks, Karine. Smile Jamaica continues right after this.